Hey FlatsClass fans, Captain CA here, and welcome back to our FlatsClass YouTube channel, where I teach you how to be a better inshore angler. Today I'm going to let you have a little peek inside my rigging box. This is a condensed version. I've consolidated a lot of the tackle into one BUZBE box, and I do that so that I can travel between the Eldora over there and the Professional out there, back and forth without having two big boxes to carry around or dedicate two BUZBE boxes. Not familiar with BUZBE? Well, BUZBE is a sponsor of this channel, so you should go check them out at buzbefishing.com. They not only have the most comprehensive tackle storage system on the planet, they have some really cool stuff like their rod covers. Their rod sleeves are, in fact, the best ones I have ever found. So they're a cool company, but this is more of a tip on tackle organization in a sense, but me just being nimble when I need to be, whether I'm jumping in one of my Hell's Bays or jumping in one of my buddies' boats, and I've got a quick small box with just enough of everything that I think you'll find it interesting. So I'm going to walk you up to some place I haven't taken you here before, and that is my bar, and it's right up here in the pool tonight. Let's go. All right, here we are, rigging box in place. You can see that I did have one of those BUZBE rod covers up here. My wife's out of town right now, so I've got run of the house. That doesn't happen for a married guy that often, but this week, happened for me. Okay, let's talk about the BUZBE box a little bit, because it's going to help explain why I set it up this way. These colony boxes, they come in 15s and 28s, and they allow you to carry an awful lot of tackle in a box that is shatterproof. It is UV impenetrable, so you can have baits in here that won't fade if you leave it out in the sun. All the hardware on the hinges and on the latches are made out of a salt marine grade resistant, I guess, stainless. So this one sits out quite a bit in the Eldora and gets very wet with salt spray at times. They're lockable if you want. They have these cool little rings on there for organizing if you need to color code, if you've got them sitting in a swarm bag, because they make these waterproof swarm bags. That way you can just pull the ring up, and if you know your terminal tackle's got the red tab, and let's just say that your crustaceans are on the blue tab and maybe your top waters are on the green tab, and you have that system worked out and you're very organized, which I'm not, it's pretty cool. I put these little rings, these little organizer rings on here, and I typically will have my boomerang snips on them and stuff like that, so that I'm never having to wear them or have them in my pocket, because they end up being left at home or lost or broken or whatever. So I leave them on here so I have them. Going into this box, I will tell you, they're totally customizable. So you can change the size of any of these boxes to large boxes. They make deeper trays if you want to, BUZBE does. And they are a sponsor of the channel, like I said, so I encourage you guys to go to buzbefishing.com and check them out. So this is a consolidated box that I use. I move from boat to boat, or if I'm jumping on another buddy's skiff, if we're tarpon fishing or something. And here's what I do with the bigger 28 colony that I have sitting in the shop. I typically will take a label gun or machine, and I will make a label on here and say jig heads, and I'll say what size they are. But because this box kind of is my travel box, it travels, I put a variety of everything in these boxes. So in this particular compartment, I've got all my jig heads, and I know my jig heads in here go from a 1/2 ounce all the way down to a 1/16, because I don't know what I'm doing that particular day. So I brought a variety of all of them. And different shaft links as well. Redfish, the redfish eye, the trout eye. I even have a couple of off-brand ones in here from VMC and things like that I use. So I've got a variety of jigs in there. In the second one here, down on the bottom row, it's a smaller box here. I've got all my bullet weights in this one. These are actually tungsten weights. I do use a lot of bullet weights of various sizes. Everything from, I'm gonna say, 3/4 down to maybe even, 1/16. A lot of the stuff I rig is that way, and I also added a couple of split shots in here because it is tarpon season and we do natural bait fish at times in tarpon season. Yes, I did say natural bait fish. We do that sometimes. Here's another box that's interesting. I've got bobber stops in there, and you're like, what would you need a bobber stop for? Well, I use them a lot for Carolina rigging, Texas rigging, and for bobbers. I also have a variety of, if you look in here, I'll just let you look in here. I have a variety of swivels in there. And swivels are a necessary thing, not only for spoons and things like that, but if you're rigging some terminal tackle this time of year, you'd need that. In this box here, I have a lot of the inline hooks for my plugs, so I'll take the trebles off. And when I take those trebles off, I would put them back in that box. And this one, I've got tons of the trocar hooks. This is tarpon season again, and I use a lot of those trocar hooks. They're on these cool little hangers, where they're all together. So I've got a variety of them in here from 5/0, 6/0, and even 7/0. Here's my chin locks. And again, like I said, if you took a label maker, you could just pull these boxes out and you know exactly what's in here. And in a bigger box, you could have every size chin locks. You could have one just for Texas rigs. And that's where all that ring stuff, they make it at BUZBE where you can be as organized as you want to be. I just choose not to be. But again, in here, all my chin lock baits, I've got them in various sizes, 2/0 all the way through 6/0, because you never know what you might need. And then I find the need, because I do use those bullet weights, to use these Mustad grip pin hooks. These are the KVDs. They're a little thinner wire, which I like at times for Texas rigging, and they allow me to weight forward the presentation. Where the chin locks gives me more of a horizontal fall, these allow me to put the bullet weight in front of them. By doing that, I can get a little bit better casting distance. I can get a little bit depth. Depth can happen faster for me. When I need to punch into small holes, I need to be really accurate. I'm using those. Believe it or not, you're probably thinking, why in the world would he have finesse mushroom heads and HD mushroom heads in here like I would for Ned rig season? I have found a reason to use Ned rigs year round. So I just don't think that I'm gonna have a Ned box and my Ned box is good from December through March. I literally use Ned rigs 24/7, 365, baby. I mean, I'm using them all year long. On this one, I've got a lot of the weight forward rigging terminal tackle from Z-Man, which includes the snake locks, the Texas eye. I think that's what I have mostly in this box. And then you saw the jig heads. But by consolidating and keeping everything condensed into one box, I can travel between both of my boats. And if I want to throw these in a swarm bag and go ride with Brian Chamberlain or Nick Angelo, or hop in the boat with Jeremiah Carlucci here on the Nature Coast, or JC Livingston, it's easy. It's like I've got a go bag, kind of like a traveling salesman would have one bag just with everything in it. Well, this is the rigging box that is in that stuff. Now, in the wintertime, I'd probably I'd take a few of those compartments out and change a few things out, because I'm not gonna need those big trocars and stuff. But for the summer months, this is how we rig. BUZBE Fishing, they keep me organized. They'll keep you organized, and I strongly recommend you check their website out. And if you buy something from them, tell them Captain CA sent you. Speaking of that, I want you to tell everyone to subscribe to this channel. Give us a thumbs up and hit that notification bell, because the more of you that are watching this channel and learning stuff, the more sponsors like Papa's Pilar will want to be a part of this channel. And once I reach 50,000 subs, we're gonna hire a full-time camera guy. When I do that, we are going to be able to take you guys everywhere, to the Florida Keys, to Charleston, South Carolina, out to Baffin Bay, Texas, to Louisiana on a regular basis, because I'll be spending more time creating media content for you guys than I will be guiding at that point. So I can't get there without all of you. So help me out. Looking forward to making all of you better inshore anglers.